Most of us in our homes, we have our front doors, you have a little peephole. You know what I'm talking about? So when the doorbell rings, you can go and you can look, and you can decide, do I want to answer the door or not? You know what I'm saying? How many of you know what I'm talking about? So now think about it. If your front doorbell rang, and you went up and you looked through the peephole, and you saw, here's a guy standing there in a ski mask, acting kind of nervous, holding a .45 automatic. What should you do?
Open the door and invite him in.
Well, for one thing, I would say, don't open the door. Lock the thing. Now here's what I'm saying. You've got to start treating thoughts and those impressions you get in your imagination. You've got to start bringing that thought into captivity. When that thought comes in, you should stop it. Talk back to it. In Jesus' name and through His blood, I command you to leave. I'm telling you, you can do that to dreams too, church. If you're having problems with dreams at night, it is not hard. It's not a hard thing to do. But just use your God-given authority in Jesus' name and through His blood. That's your authority. I reject that thought. I'm telling you, that thought will leave. Thought to hurt yourself. Thought to hurt one of the kids. Angry and mad at one of the relatives that's goofy. How many of you have a goofy relative somewhere in the
Oh, I don't have one.
Your
relative? I'm married.
Yeah, but look who she's married to. I saw. Now here's what I'm saying. Until you and I get to the point where we give our imagination to the Lord, here's what I want to say to you. We'll never be victorious.
Yeah, that's right.
Now I want to challenge you with some things tonight. Maybe it's been a long time since you've been in the habit of passing out tracts. I'll tell you, my spiritual imagination was stimulated that one day on the elevator. Now I just want to give you a little challenge here. One time my wife and I, we got to talk about getting a little bit lax on passing out tracts. Well, you can do that. I mean, you can get up and down on those things. And I said, you know what we'll do? What do we do? We ought to just decide that we're going to pass out at least an average of one tract a day. 360. So I count up 365 tracts, put them right there by the kitchen door. We come and go through that. And every time we went by, there was a reminder. I picked those things up. And I'm telling you, it was like 3-4 months, they were all gone. Now here's what I want to say to you. I would like to challenge your imagination tonight. I'd like to stimulate you. I would like for you to consider counting out 365 tracts. Now listen to me. I'm not giving you a time limit on it, but I'm saying, think about it. If everybody passed out 365 tracts, can you imagine what kind of an impact it could make? And we may not know all the impact, but here's what we do know. We know that it would be pleasing to our Father to invest in the kingdom.
Yeah.
So just set them there someplace. Set them right there. Someplace close. Just pick some up. Now, maybe you're not brave. Maybe you can't hand them to a person. You can leave them all over the place. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, at least let God stimulate your spiritual imagination. Some of you here, I know what, sometimes it gets to be a challenge, but sometimes it's hard to stick with reading the Bible like you know you should. You know? So I would just say to you, what if you chose? One time I made the decision that I want to read an average of one chapter a day. I mean, that was a simple little decision. Do you realize what that is? I'm 67 years old. Do you realize what that means? Average of one chapter a day? Sometimes I would skip, I'd forget, you know, something, and I'm just, then the next day you read two. But I would like to read an average of one chapter a day. Something stimulates your spiritual imagination to get you back in the book. And then I want to give you this last little challenge. I'd like for some of you to take the challenge that I would be willing to witness to at least, now catch this, I mean kind of go up somehow, hand a tract to somebody and say, this will tell you how to get to heaven. wonderful things in this? Or ask God to give you at least one person a week. Now guess this, through the rest of the summer. That's really just July and August. One person a week that you can actually try to talk to. Now it might not come out, but at least you try to personally go somewhere or witness to at least one person a week. That's not bad when you think about it. Now that's a wonderful challenge. Now some of you, here's what I know you need to do tonight. You need to step across the line and say, okay, now I'm going to start challenging the thoughts that come into my life. My marriage will never work out. We'll never be able to survive this. I'll never be able to get a good job. We're going to be stuck where we are, just like we have for the last 7 years. My health will never improve. Do you hear what's happening here? And I hope you're picking up on this. You need to start stepping up to those thoughts, bring them into captivity, and send them down the road. You hear what I'm saying? Now I'm finished. It's your choice. Father in heaven, thank you for being our Father in heaven. Thank you for letting us be in your forever family. Now, Lord, I pray for maybe that one person tonight that constantly imagines themselves going to hell, but they haven't quite figured out how to get to heaven. Now help them tonight make the decision to accept Jesus Christ as their only hope for heaven. And Lord, I know that some here tonight, you've already spoken to their heart, you've stimulated them, and their imagination can really see counting out 365, an average of one track a day, and laying it someplace. They're going to be free. Laying those tracks someplace where you can just get to them as you come and go. And just see how much fun it is to just litter up everything with the gospel. And some here, I know, realize that they need to be more faithful in their reading, and they'd like to maybe make a choice to read at least a chapter a day. At least a chapter, do this, at least a chapter a day through the summer. At least a chapter a day just till the end of August. And maybe you're here and you'd say, well, it would be a challenge to me, and I'm breathing heavy even as I'm thinking about it, but I can imagine myself actually trying to, through the summer, personally witness to at least one person a week. I can see myself doing that. It's scary, but I'm going to give God my spiritual imagination and see what He can do with it. Maybe you're here tonight and you'd say, I think my battle is bringing my thoughts into captivity. I struggle with some thoughts that bother me and reoccur, and I need to do battle with those things. Let's stand together for closing prayer.